All right, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to episode 48 of Together Achieving Greatness. I'm Trevor Gutting, owner of Tag Performance and Nutrition, and jumping here on this episode, I'll be dropping all the information that you need to succeed. But before we jump in, make sure you are subscribed to my page so you're getting any updates, any new videos, any other stuff that's getting posted on there, so you can be the first to know and then be the first to implement. And if you are enjoying these, make sure you're liking the videos as well. So today I want to jump right in and just talk about kind of my slogan or my mission or what I'm about. And it's about helping people become an athlete for life. And when you hear the term athlete, a lot of times you think of professional athletes or people who are really good at sports or things like that. People who are fast, who can jump high, who are explosive, are powerful, are strong, have good hand-eye coordination, those types of things that make athletes athletes. But when I'm talking about athletes for being an athlete for life, I want to get a little bit different because I'm not necessarily working with professional athletes. I'm working with a lot of regular people like you and me, people who were athletes at one point in their life, maybe high school, college, pro, former athletes, but are just looking to be athletic again because as we age, as we get all away from sports, we tend to become unathletic. We sit on the couch more, we eat a bunch of junk food more, we get fat, we get out of shape, we don't do as much as we used to, we're tired, we don't have enough energy to do anything. These are all issues I see with people and what I want to help with in becoming an athlete for life. And today in this episode, I just want to talk a little bit more about what it actually means to become or be an athlete for life. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a pro athlete for the rest of your life because that's never happened. It never will be. No one's going to be a pro athlete until their 80s, 90s probably, I don't think. Maybe Tom Brady, he's been doing it forever, it seems like. But yeah, it's just not necessarily anything to do with pro athletes, but it's about you, yourself, your life, and what it means to be an athlete for life for just everyone, because I think everyone should strive to be an athlete for life. It's a great way to live. It's a great way to train and eat and those types of things. And I think it is huge. And I'll break it down a little bit more and kind of just get into what it means to be an athlete for life. And basically, what I think my main meaning behind it is that you are living your best life. It's the best way to live. It's creating the best version of yourself and helping you unleash greatness in your life. Not just in your training, but in every area of your life, in your work. If you're a student in your school, if you're a parent in your parenting, if you're married, your family, kind of those things, you're being a good husband or wife or whatever it may be, in your social life, unleashing greatness in every area of your life. That's what being an athlete for life means. It doesn't mean you have to run a 4.40 at age 50, or you have to be able to lift 300 pounds. It doesn't mean those things. What it does mean is it means you're going to eat well. You're going to focus on your nutrition. Heck, even pro athletes, most of them probably don't even eat very well. College athletes, college students don't eat well. But being an athlete for life, it means you are eating well. You're focusing on good quality nutrition. Think nutrient-dense foods. Here, probably if you listen to me, if you follow me, you hear me say it all the time. Foods that you can either come from the earth, like fruits, vegetables, rice, potatoes, those types of things, so things you can grow basically, or things you can kill, so animals, or things that come from animals, eggs, meats, all that good stuff. So that's eating well, and it's finding what works for you. It's not neglecting certain macronutrients or micronutrients or cutting out whole food groups, restricting. It's finding how many meals works for you. It's not skipping meals all the time. It's not focusing on supplements. It's focusing on good quality nutrition, eating protein, eating carbs, eating fats. And again, finding that what works for you and your lifestyle, because we are all different. But again, there are those principles, and eating good quality nutrient dense foods, eating all the macronutrients are some basic principles that you can follow. Again, it's just tinkering with it and finding what works for you. So, eating well and good nutrition, that's part one of being an athlete for life. Next thing is sleeping. You have to sleep a lot. It's probably the most important thing we do. This is when our bodies recover, we rebuild muscle repair, we re-energize, we refuel for the next day, the next task ahead. Because if you aren't sleeping, everything goes downhill. Your hormones will get messed up, your attitude will be poor, your mood will be bad, you'll be more likely to eat junkier foods and not a good quality diet. You won't have the energy to train, you won't have the energy to do things you love, you won't be able to play with your kids, those types of things. So sleeping a lot. So a good rough estimate, I always say, is that shoot for 7 hours on sleep a night. And the main thing is just make sleep a priority. Most people neglect it. That's the first thing we seem to cut out is, I can cut back on sleep here. I can stay up and watch movies or get up early to train or get up early for work without any sleep. We just grab a coffee or an energy drink and slam that back, and that's not gonna work. That's just putting a Band-Aid over a bullet hole. It's not gonna work. So make sure you're sleeping a lot. And if, say, you want to get 8 hours of sleep, go to bed 9 hours before you need to be up, because that's gonna help. Because whether you like it or not, we all wake up at certain times of the night, even if you don't know. So go to bed 1 hour more than the hours that you plan to get to sleep. So I get up at 5 typically, so I go to bed at 8 so I can shoot for 8 hours of sleep. I don't always get it because I'm not the best sleeper, but like I said, it's a work in progress. So sleeping a lot, that is a big thing. Next is just training like an athlete and moving more. So being an athlete for life means training like an athlete. So what does that mean? That means you are lifting heavy things, and heavy is relative to each person. For somebody, like myself, it might mean deadlifting 450 pounds. For you, it might mean deadlifting 100 pounds. It doesn't matter. It's just heavy in relative to the person in front of you, to yourself. So lift heavy things, lift light weights fast, kind of build that power, that explosiveness. Because as we age, that's one of the first things you lose is your power. And that's going to help you move better. It's going to help you get upstairs. It's going to help you if you trip and fall, slip on the ice, catch yourself. So that's where power can come into our everyday lives. It also means sprinting, jumping, throwing, hopping, skipping, rolling, bounding, all these different movements that are not typically done in a gym, because the gym is only one aspect of training like an athlete. The rest of it comes from getting outside, hanging on monkey bars, just playing around, being a kid, running, sprinting, jumping, doing all these things that you don't get in a typical powerlifting program or something like that, or a bodybuilding program where all you're doing is focusing on the gym. That is only one part of it. Being athletic, being an athlete for life, moving well, comes from doing other things. And again, sprinting, yes, you should be sprinting. It doesn't mean you need to run fast. It just means you need to try to run fast. Jumping, jump. You don't have to have a 40-inch vertical. Just jump up onto a step. Do things like that. Skip, bound, roll, somersault, cartwheel. Like I said, go to a playground and play on the playground. I do that. Typically, that's what I'm doing now on my lower intensity days. A lot of times, my weekends, I'll go hang on the monkey bars for a while. Just get a pull-up bar and hang. That's another good thing. So, being an athlete for life means training like an athlete. So you're doing all those things. You are being mobile. You're working on your mobility, whether this is through just mobility drills, a certain day that you're doing mobility. Maybe it's your warm-up. Maybe you're doing some yoga. Whatever it means, and then moving more. Just get outside and walk. It's just one of the simplest things you can do. If you have availability of legs to use, you can get outside and walk. I guess if you have to, go on a treadmill or elliptical or whatever, but it's best you can get outside, because then you get that fresh air, that sunlight as well. If you're lucky enough to get the sun a lot in Wisconsin, sometimes we don't get a ton of sun here, but Get out, move more. Set a goal. Maybe you're getting 2,000 steps a day now. Up that to 5,000 for a few weeks, and then 8,000, then 10,000. Ultimately, if you can get 10,000, that's a good rough goal that all the studies say 10 to 12,000. More than that even you can get. And just move more. It's going to help your body feel better. It's going to help you recover. It's not taxing. It's going to get the blood flow. It's going to have your joints feeling good. Move more. And that doesn't need to be just walking too. It could be chores around the house, mow the lawn, clean the house, those types of things. So that's another thing. Train like an athlete and moving more. Those are kind of the three kind of pillars of my training or my coaching that we work with. But other things that involve being an athlete for life and unleashing greatness in your life, it means that you're living your best life. So you're doing the things you love. You're able to spend time and being able to maybe go on trips, maybe like to travel, maybe like to watch movies. Maybe being an athlete for life means that you're not full of aches and pains. You have the energy, and you're not achy and bad shoulders, bad back, bad hips, bad knees, bad ankles, whatever. We've assumed things that come with age, having these aches and pains, that you don't have those chronically, that you're able to get out and play with your kids, chase them around without putting your hands on your knees and being out of breath. You're able to go up the stairs without that type of thing, or you're able to play with the grandkids without aches and pains and lift them up and carry them and do all those things that you should want to do. And ultimately, when you're trying to create your best life, do that. It's being able to play sports. Like I play amateur town ball. I've played it for 16 years. I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't train like an athlete, eat well, sleep well. Some people can get by, but their bodies ache. They're out of shape. They're always winded. They just don't look the part. But that's a big thing, is being able to play sports. Or maybe you're a tennis player. You go play tennis, or pickleball is big here in town. You're able to play pickleball, or jump into a pickup game of basketball without worrying about blowing out your Achilles or tearing an ACL. Being an athlete for life is looking good. You should look good. You should feel good. These things are going to help you. Training, eating well, and that is part of being an athlete for life. I always think of it as you walk into the room and you're the fittest person in the room. That's a good thing I challenge myself to be, and I think being an athlete for life is part of that, working to be the fittest person in the room you walk into. And that's challenging yourself again. Going into a room, maybe it's a gym or a place where you see other people who look good, feel good, they perform good, and that challenges you to up your game. And that's part of it too, is challenging yourself. Being an athlete for life is challenging yourself, whether that's in the gym, whether that's at work, whether that's trying something new, trying a new food, going on a trip, whatever it may be. Challenge yourself in life, in the gym, with your nutrition, all that stuff. It also means failing a lot, because if you're not failing, you're not going to learn. It's kind of that fall down, get back up, learn from it, grow from it, and those types of things. You should be doing these things. If you're not, you're just living in your comfort zone. You got to get out of your comfort zone. That's kind of what the challenge is as well. Don't be afraid to fail, because that just means it's a way to learn. You can learn from that and grow from that. Being an athlete for life just means you're able to do everyday tasks without, like I said, the aches and the pains, without wondering if you're able to do something. It's being able to get off the couch, go up the stairs, strong enough to lift the groceries and carry them into the house. Those types of things, just these everyday tasks that you might think that getting old, it means it's tougher to do. And it shouldn't be. It should be still something that's simple for you, and that's being an athlete for life. It's having a strong mind, because a lot of people were flushed with negativity and all the time now, and just being able to think more positively and think for yourself and make your own decisions. That's what having a strong mind is. it's also being able to manage stress, because everything we do in life is stress: training, sleep, work, having kids, being married. All that stuff's a stress. Body can't tell what's good or bad. You need to manage it. You don't want your glass to overfill with too much stress, because that's when you get burnt out. You get sick, you get hurt, whatever it may be. So do your best to manage these, knowing that there's not really going to be a perfect balance all the time. At different times it's going to be more and less, and you just got to work with that. It's being an athlete for life is not, it's being in your best health. It's not necessarily, yes, looks are part of it, looking good, but you got to feel good as well. Not just outside, but inside. You get blood work and everything looks good. You got a good cholesterol. You got good fasting blood glucose levels. You got good heart health. Your hormone levels are good. Good high testosterone. Those types of things that you can get checked with your doctor. So you don't. It's not just about looking good. Yes, that's part of it. There's nothing wrong with looking good. You should want to look good. Who wants to look bad? I mean, but it's the inside as well. Make sure the body's all functioning well, the organs are doing well, those types of things. And outside of that, it's being a good person. Be kind, be trustworthy, be a role model to people around you, your peers, kids, those types of things. That's being an athlete for life. That's how you unleash greatness. It's being a good person. Find your values that you value, or kind of your core principles of being a person, and be the best you can be that way. Again, basically, being an athlete for life encompasses a lot of different things. It's not just being athletic. Yes, that's part of it. You're able to run, jump, do things, but it's about being able to live your best life, like I said before, and be the best version of yourself, because you should want to live a great life. What is just an average, boring life? Hear so many people complain about the jobs they had and just are so negative. And I was at that point at one point too, working in crappy jobs and things like that, and not being where you want to be. But you can be where you want to be. You just got to put in some work. You got to learn. You got to grow. And being an athlete for life is part of this. It's unleashing the greatness in your life, in all areas of your life, not just the training or whatnot, not just your health, but your entire life. And that's really what it means. That's what my definition of being an athlete for life is. It's encompassing all of these different things that I talked about. So that's ultimately what I want to get across today, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, comment below the video, or send me an email, trevor@tagpn.com. Other than that, make sure you like, subscribe to my videos, and we will talk to you again soon. Thanks, guys.